Hello everyone, so now we are going to do OSPF lab. In our previous class we done the OSPF lab by using the network command. Now we are going to use the interface method. In the real world, in the company also, we are using the interface method most of the time. So let me show you how we can use. So I am using the same topology. I will take 2 router. Later you can take more also. If you want to take 3 router also, you can take 3 router and you can do the configuration. But here I am taking only 2 router to show you that one. Or if you want, let me take one more router. Or anyhow, this is enough. After that we will do the DR/BDR lab also. So let me do here. I will do the basic lab, whatever we done before. Before we use the network command, now we are going to use the interface method. So we will do this lab by using interface method. So here what I will do, I will use the IP schema. Here I will write, in this site I will use 192.168.12.1/24, and this site I will use here 192.168.12.2/24, and this site LAN side, here I will say I am using 192.168.1.1/24, and this LAN side, this is the branch office, we can say this LAN side I will use 192.168.2.1, and here I will give, this is the router R1 and this one is the router R2 I will give here, and this is the LAN, this is our head office. So this head office will have this IP. So here we will have the gateway as this IP, this router interface, and this router interface we will have as a gateway here. And what else, this one we are going to configure to this interface belongs to this router, and this IP we are going to configure this interface belongs to this router. So now we need to do the lab. So let's start now. I will do the lab. I will take the notepad. In the notepad we can do the lab here. I will say OSPF lab by using interface method. OSPF lab by using interface method. So now we are using the interface method. This is very important. Most of the time we are using this method only in our company. We are getting the new router to connect the new link. Like we have multiple sites, so we are connecting from head office to branch office. New branch office we are connecting to head office, so we are using the OSPF only. So in that one I have the lease line, so we are using the same method what I am doing here. So if you see, we have the R1, I can say R1 configuration, and here I will do the configuration. Like first you need to write enable, then config t, then after that I will write the host name. I will give R1, then the same thing, first you need to assign the IP address. So this is the interface, I am going to assign this IP here. So I will write here IP address, whatever the address you have, 192.168.12.1, give space 255.255.255.0, and we will write no shut here. Then after that interface F0/0, I will assign IP, I will write IP address 192.168.1.1, give space 255.255.255.0, and I will write here no shut. So this way we assign the IP address to these two interface. After that I need to do the OSPF. So I will write router OSPF, and process ID our wish, we can give 100, 1, 200, 300, anything, but generally we are using 1, so I use 1 here. After that router ID our wish, if we did not configure the router ID, no problem, router will take automatically, but better let's do the configure. Let's configure. If you want to configure the router ID, then you will write router -ID and give the space and do here, put here whatever you want to give. Example, I will say 1.1.1. This is my router ID. Okay. After that, before we are using network command to advertise, but now I will not use the network command because I am using the interface method. So if I am using the interface method, first I need to go under the interface. So which interface you want to advertise? You have this interface, you have this interface. Which interface you want to advertise in the OSPF? Which interface you want to enable the OSPF? So I want to enable OSPF on both interface. If I enable OSPF here only, this route will not go there. I need to activate the OSPF here and here both. Like yesterday when you do the lab, when you done the lab in our previous assignment, if you did not enable, this route will not go there. So we need to enable here both. So you need to go which interface example I want to activate the OSPF under this interface. So I need to type this interface before interface F0/1. Then this is the command you need to remember, IP OSPF, and here what you wrote, process ID, same that one you need to write here, IP OSPF 1 area, which area we are using, I am using area 0, that's all. So this interface we enable the OSPF under this interface with this command. Now you need to do for this one same thing, go here, right here interface F0/0 and then write IP OSPF 1 area 0. See, that's all, finish. OSPF configuration done for R1. Simple. Before you need to write network ID, wildcard mask, area 0. But here just go under the interface, write IP OSPF, whatever the process ID you are using, put that process ID here, then write area, what area we are using. We are using area 0 for all, everything here, area 0, and then interface F0/0. This interface you need to activate the OSPF here also, so write IP OSPF 1 area 0. So this is the R1 configuration. Just I will copy, I will go to this router, okay. So I will go here, make this big and write here no first time, and then we will paste the configuration. So I pasted the configuration here. If you see here, no error, nothing, everything look good. If you want to save, write WR to save the configuration. R1 work is done, R1 configuration is finished. Now let's do the R2. So I will go here, I will write here R2 configuration. Okay, R2 configuration, enable config T, host name, R2 configuration. So what is the interface? F0/0, IP address 192.168.12.2, give space 255.255.0, then write here no shut, then you have interface F0/1, IP address you have 192.168.2.1, give space 255.255.255.0, we will write no shut. So here we assign the IP, same thing like that you will write router OSPF 1 and then router ID if you want. Even if you did not give router ID, no problem, but anyhow I will give the router ID. So this is a router ID, and now you need to enable the OSPF under this interface and this interface. So here I will write interface F0/0, I will write under that one IP OSPF 1 area 0, then interface F0/1 IP OSPF 1 area 0, that's all. So this is the R2 configuration. I can copy and paste this in the R2. Okay, so let me go here, I will paste here no, and then I will paste this here. So I pasted here, everything look good, no issue, no error, and we can, meanwhile we can assign the IP here. I will give 192.168.1.2. this is a label I put to the PC. Now I will go to the machine here inside, I will put here, and the gateway will be 1.1 here, and then same thing I will do here. I will write 1.3 here, and then we will go here inside, and here I will put 1.1 here. Then let me go here, same thing we will do 1.4. I will copy and I will paste here 1.1 here, and this is 1.5. So I will assign this IP to this computer. I will go here, this will be 1.5, and here 1.1, this one, and here we can do like 2.2, because here you have different subnets. See here 2.1 is a gateway, so IP we are giving 2.2, 2.1 is a gateway here, so gateway will be 2.1 here. So I will go here, I will write here 2.3, and this will be the IP address of this computer here, and here I will put this 2.1 is a gateway, and same thing 2.4 is a IP of this computer, and let me go here, I will assign here, and then I will put 2.1 is a gateway here. So everything is good here. If you want to assign here also, you can assign this IP, and we can paste here inside this computer, and we can do the lab. We can test the lab here. So first of all, if you want to check routes you are getting or not, just open this CLI of this router and you can write here show IP route. So you are getting the route from the OSPF. You can see O means OSPF. This route you are getting from OSPF. If anyone want to go to this network, they need to go via this, and AD value is 110 and the matrix is 2. From this much time this route is up, and this is our interface, leaving interface, our router leaving interface, this F0/1. So this is our leaving interface, and here these are the codes already we discussed in RIP. L, wherever you have L, that means local. Wherever you have C, that means connected. And if you are getting the route from static route, you will get S here. If you are getting route from RIP, you will get R here. If you are getting from EAGRP, D. Now we are getting the route from O, so you will have O here, OSPF. If you want to filter this, you don't want to see all this one, then you can write show IP route OSPF. Then you can see only this OSPF entry. Wherever you have O, only that entry will come here. And what else here? You can check the database table, show IP OSPF neighbor, first neighbor table. So if you see you are here, where are you now? You are in the R1. So if you see here, you are in the R1. So this is, you are standing here. So your neighbor is this one. So neighbor ID is nothing but router ID. What router ID we configure to the R2? We configure 2.2.2. So neighbor is this one. Priority by default you have 1 and state is full, and this neighbor is DR. The neighbor guy become the DR, and this is a dead timer. Neighbor IP of the interface is this one, and our interface which is connecting to neighbor is this one. This is a neighbor table. If you want to check the database table, you can check write show IP OSPF database, and this is the database table. When you write show IP OSPF database, you will get the database table. In that one you have the router ID. So I am here in the R1. So what is the router ID of R1 is 1.1.1 we configure. So this is the router ID, and this is a process ID, whatever we configure, process ID. We write router OSPF 1. So this one is nothing but process ID, and this is the router LSA generated by all the routers. All router is sending the hello to each other. So this is the router LSA, and this is the R1 ID. So this router ID is R1, and this one is a R2 here, and advertiser router is only this one, R1 and R2, and this is the age, and this is the sequence number, and this is a checksum value. And how many links they are advertising? This one 1.1.1 he is advertising 2 link. One is F0/1, one is F0/0. Same thing, this 2.2.2 is also advertising 2 link. One is this one 192.168.12.2, and one is 192.168.2.1. And this one is a network LSA generated by BDR. We have DR and BDR, so we can say this router become the DR, this router become the BDR. So all the routers are generated by the LSA, that one is known as router LSA, and DR is generated, that LSA is known as network LSA. So this is a network LSA generated by DR. Designated router is going to generate that one. So this is the network LSA we can say. So we need to remember this is generated by DR. After that we have what we can say, we can ping and we can check here. So let's go here and ping and check connectivity is there or not. So I will write ping 192.168.2.2, and I am pinging from here to here. So let's see, reply should come. First packet will drop for ARP, and you can see it is working. And then you can check with the another one 2.3, it will also work, and 2.4, 2.5 we can check, and it will work. It is working. If you ping here also, this is also working. And we have last one, we can do 192.168.2.5, that will also work. So if you see here, this is also working. Okay, so this one we done OSPF by using interface method. In this video we learn how to configure OSPF by using interface method.